Here. This is just a slide that introduces me. So I am, as I mentioned, a psychiatrist in the depression program at Mass General Hospital, where I do a lot of psychotherapy and see a lot of second-generation Asian American clients. And I'm also the director and a co-founder of something that we're calling the MGH Center for Cross-Cultural Student Emotional Wellness. So our center overlaps very nicely with the Kickoff today. And I know we're live streaming to about 9 other sites all around the region. So hello to you all who are joining us remotely. So again, our Center for Cross-Cultural Student Emotional Wellness is a consortium of clinicians, educators, and researchers who are passionate about promoting the emotional well-being and resilience, psychological resilience of students from diverse communities who are often left out of the conversation around mental health. And so we are the MGH co-sponsors for this event. Now, just a few notes for housekeeping purposes. Unfortunately, we are not allowed to have food or drinks in the auditorium, as you know, but we are going to break after the first segment. So before the Q&A session, we're going to break and we'll have an opportunity to go back outside and network and have some more food. If anyone needs a restroom, if you go out this set of doors, or you can go out that door but go that way, and then sort of hang a left, there's a set of restrooms over on that side. Please turn your cell phones and pagers to vibrate or silent. Although I've been asked to let you know that you're encouraged, welcome and encouraged to actually tweet and be on social media during this event. So please tweet about us using the hashtag #SpeakShareSupport that's on the screen, and you can tag the Twitter handle at Team Asian Minds. And I think that is all of the announcements. So again, we're going to break around 7 or 7:15. And so now I'd like to transition to reading you actually a welcome letter, or sorry, a congratulations letter from the White House Initiative on Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders that Chen Chi forwarded to me. And it's written by the executive director of that initiative, and she says, "Greetings. On behalf of the White House Initiative on Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders, or WHI-AAPI, I send my warmest congratulations to the Together Empowering Asian Minds, or TEAM Coalition, on the launch of a national public awareness campaign on mental health, especially for AAPI women. I applaud TEAM for dispelling the stigma around mental health and engaging communities with culturally responsive messages and resources. President Obama reauthorized WHI-AAPI to improve the quality of life and opportunities for the AAPI community through increased access to and participation in federal programs in which they remain underserved. With your involvement, the initiative seeks to highlight both the tremendous unmet need in AAPI communities, as well as the dynamic assets that can be leveraged to meet those needs. I commend TEAM for its commitment to revolutionize the way that AAPI women receive, process, and use mental health information and services. Congratulations again on the launch, and I wish you continued success in the year to come. Sincerely, Dua Tor, WHI-AAPI Executive Director." That's thanks in large part to the leadership of this tremendous new group, Chen Chi Huang, among others. So I'm just going to quickly lay out the overview for the agenda for this evening. We're going to start with a performance by the Breaking Silences Project. And next, Chen Chi Huang from the Women's Asian Women for Health, AWHF, is going to give a campaign overview for what this TEAM initiative is all about. And then finally, we're going to have a wrap-up for the live streaming session and a transition to the local sites led by Pata Suyamoto. And as I mentioned before the Q&A, we're going to have a break for food. So now to introduce the Breaking Silences Project. This is to introduce the mental health issues that the TEAM campaign addresses. Pata Suyamoto and Christina Chan from the Breaking Silences Project will do a 10-minute staged reading of their play. Thank you.
Can we turn off the... No.
Hi, Mom.
Hi. How was school? I'm sort of struggling now.
What? Didn't you get your paper in?
No, I mean emotionally speaking.
What did you get on the paper?
Oh, Mom, for the past week, I've been suicidal. I got an A.
Are you mental? Yes, I am. Melancholy, flu, insane, having a breakdown, screwed up, fucked up, messed up.
Mental, schizo, spastic, sicko, brain dead, deranged, a head case of schizo.
Nuts, crazy, losing my mind, in the pits, down in the dumps, loony,
Crackers, a basket case, cuckoo, out of my mind, a nutcase, a fruitcake.
an oddball, wacky, a weirdo, off my rocker, mad, I've lost my marbles.
Still crazy after all these years. Oh, still crazy after all these years. Once you told me I was like my mother. Not a kind comment, given that you divorced her. Given that she lived her life at the edge of sanity or insanity, depending on the day. But then again, maybe I am like my mother. I have hidden in the dark. I've been in a mental hospital more than once. But I've never blamed others for this illness, never neglected my children. Unlike my mother, I've looked depression square in the face and said, I know you are my lifelong burden, but I'm going to live my life despite you.
It's all in your head.
Yeah, my head and my neurotransmitters.
Are you still taking your meds?
Nah, I gave them up. Kind of like giving up sugar for Lent. I like being suicidal and depressed. It makes my day.
Cheer up. It can't be that bad.
What's bad? Is not being able to enjoy a walk on the beach that bad? Or wanting to step out into incoming traffic? Is that bad?
Now, what do you have to be depressed about?
Nothing and everything.
Aren't you better yet?
Don't you have an ounce of compassion yet?
You look awful.
Thanks. So do you.
Don't you think you're being a bit dramatic?
Want to trade places?
I can't believe that Lydia committed suicide. She was such a lovely girl, and she was doing so well. I was just reviewing her transcripts for college application, and she had a GPA of 3.8. She also played second violin in orchestra.
Wow, yeah, she was so helpful and kind to others, always lending a hand in the art room. She was becoming quite a skilled artist, though she never took her talent in that area too seriously.
It's so tragic.
I wonder what happened.
Dear Mom and Dad, I'm so sorry that I have failed as your daughter. I did not get a 4.0 this year. The honor classes were too hard. I didn't even make the high honor roll. I know I disappointed you, and I am very, very sorry. I hate that I didn't make the first violin chair in the orchestra, even though I practiced for 3 hours a day. As you said, second chair is only second best. I can't finish my homework, even though I worked on it until 3 in the morning. I must be stupid. I know I'm not as good as my brother and never will be. I hate myself. I am fat and lazy. No one likes me, and I don't expect they would. Who could like someone so ugly and repulsive? I can't go on being such a disappointment to you and to me. I can't face you or the world knowing I'm a terrible person and such a failure. I know you don't want to hear about my sadness. If I die, it'll be the best for everyone. I'm sorry if I inconvenience you. Please, Please forgive me.
How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. This is my life box. It reminds me about why I want to live. This is a picture of my daughter. It's her birth announcement. This is a picture of a samurai woman warrior. My grandmother always said we had samurai blood. She reminds me about why I'm a warrior in the world. This is an angel that my therapist gave me. When I look at it, I'm reminded of all the support he's given me through the years. This is a picture of me crossing the Mississippi River on my bicycle. It says pedestrians prohibited on the bridge. I went across country in 2012. This is a Mother's Day card from my daughter. It says, "Happy Mother's Day, Mommy. Thank you for always being there for me. But most important, thank you for giving birth to me. I love you so much, and no matter how far away I go, I will always think of you. You have made so many sacrifices, and I'm so grateful, even if I don't always show it. I will miss you so much when I am away next year and when I go to college. Happy Mother's Day." And these are letters from family and friends. They remind me of a Carole King song. When you're down and troubled, and you need some love and care, and nothing is going right, close your eyes and think of me, and soon I will be there to brighten up even your darkest night. You just call out my name, and you know wherever I am, I'll come running to see you again. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, all you've got to do is call, and I'll be there. You've got a friend.
I had a really good time.
Yeah, I did too. But I need to talk to you about something. How do I say this without sounding desperate?
Yeah? Oh no, she's going to tell me she just likes me.
Well, I was thinking, gee, it's hot tonight. Why can't I just tell him?
Could I see you next Saturday?
Oh, I'd love to, you see, you think it's gonna rain?
What? The skies are clear.
Okay, I just need to tell you something. He's gonna drop me.
We could see a movie.
Okay, how about Girl Interrupted?
Nah, that's a chick flick.
But, that's me. I'm that girl. I have depression, and it might affect our relationship, and if we ever have kids, it could affect that too, and sometimes I cry a lot, but maybe I'm getting ahead of myself. After all, we've only been together for a month.
It's okay. It's okay. Why don't we just go out on Saturday?
I'd love to. I wish when I was depressed I could put a fragile label on me. Then you would know.
To not raise your voice over something small.
Then you would know not to assume I was okay.
Then you understand why I sit alone in the dark.
Then you might reach out and ask me how I really am.
Then you might sit with me.
And then you might listen to me speak my truth and not silence me.
Then you might not judge me.
Then maybe I could put the label on you and listen to you.
And together, we might just save each other's lives.
Okay, now I get to switch
roles for a minute. And I'm Pata Sugimoto, and I'm one of the founding members of TEAM, as well as many people in this room. I have the unique pleasure of introducing Chin-Chi Huang. Chin-Chi has many accomplishments to her name, including spearheading a number of organizations and initiatives, including the Asian Breast Cancer Project, which grew into Asian Women for Health. She also does an Asian American Mental Health Forum and TEAM, as well as many others. She currently serves as the Executive Director of Asian Women for Health and on a number of national and local committees and panels, too extensive to enumerate. However, tonight I want to share a more personal reflection on Chin-Chi and her leadership. I first met Chin-Chi through Time Trade Circle when she requested my service of Reiki, which is an energy healing. From that moment, it was clear we were kindred spirits with many shared passions. We are both artists, survivors, and activists in the Asian American community. Shortly after that meeting, Chin-Chi connected me with Christina Chan, my partner in the Now Breaking Silences project. You see, Chin-Chi has this uncanny and extraordinary ability to connect people and create networks. She's a doer. She makes things happen like no one else. She inspires us all to action. She is deeply committed and dedicated to the vision of making lives of Asian American women better. Tonight, she rallies us to join TEAM, to speak about mental illness and healing, to share our stories and wisdom, and to support the work and each other as we create a movement. Please join me in a warm welcome of Chin-Chi.
Thank you, Pata. Well, I will need Pata's assistant here. She will help me switch the slides, as you can see. So it's a real honor to be here tonight as a peer struggling with mental health issues and as one of the founding members of TEAM. Thanks to technology, we can have this amazing gathering tonight at 10 different sites. I want to give a shout out to Dr. Justin Chen for hosting the live event here at MGH, and to acknowledge the others at Tufts, MIT, Harvard, Boston University, Amherst College, Smith College, Yale University, and Stanford University. As I was preparing, thank you. Yeah, that was weird. As I was preparing for this event, I realized my role is not just an announcer of a national kickoff campaign, but rather I am more like a valedictorian giving a graduation speech. My goal here is to show you what lays ahead and how we can embark on this incredible journey together. As a breast cancer survivor, I have lived experience with depression and drug-induced manic episodes. However, my struggles with mental illness date way back when I was a teenager. I remember vividly when I intentionally hurt myself and had suicidal thoughts from time to time. I never told anyone about my behavior and my thoughts of killing myself throughout these years. And my situation was and is not unique. According to SAMHSA, over 13% of Asian American Pacific Islanders have a diagnosable mental illness in 2013. That is about 2.2 million people, roughly the entire population of Houston. The number might be low because Asian Americans are 3 times less likely to seek mental health services than the other U.S. populations. Even here in Massachusetts, where we have the second highest mental health provider to patient ratio in the nation, less than 50% of Asian American adults who need the services receive treatment. This, of course, will result in a lower number of Asian Pacific Islanders who are diagnosed with mental illness. And on top of that, we often are lumped together or put in the category that's called other.
This is quite interesting to me because as we are the invisible group who suffer in silence with the invisible disease. Suicide is a major public health concern for youth ages 15 to 24 of all ethnicities, including Asian Americans. Asian American college students disproportionately suffer from depressive symptoms that can lead to suicide. For example, between 1996 to 2006, 61% of suicides on Cornell's campus involve Asian American students. Between 2012 to 2014, 75% of suicides on Harvard's campus involved Asian American students. And between 2014 to 2015, 42% of suicides on MIT's campus involved Asian American students. In all cases, the proportion of Asian American students on these campuses is much less than the percentage of suicides. Now consider these memes of parental expectations. Blood type A minus, why not A plus? Less Facebook, more face in the book. And consider these typical shaming and guilt-inducing practices common in our culture. Your new Chinese name is Fei Ling. We often don't praise our kids for fear they will be spoiled or become complacent. Sin. Sin is what you get when you take the A's out of Asians. So here's my interpretation. The Asian way is the only way, and Asian women are supposed to be perfect in every way. Although many of us chuckles at these memes, they do express a reality of some of the factors that drives the disproportional depressive and suicide rates among Asian American Pacific Islander students. High parental pressures and societal expectations, concerns over school performance, and being subject to bullying due to racism and sexism. These expectations are often internalized, and parents do not understand mental illness as a disease. We are taught to be silent about our troubles and not to air dirty laundry, especially outside the family. We also are often told that only crazy or possessed people need to seek mental health providers or get treatment. If we go outside these boundaries, we may lose face or bring shame to the whole family. As a result, many Asian American Pacific Islanders with mental illness feel isolated with no support. The model minority is how the outside world view us: wealthy, healthy, and well-educated. However, the model minority is just a myth propagated by those who want to provide people of color and sweep under the rug the real issues of our communities. If we don't fit the model minority myth, here's how we feel inside: not smart enough, not good enough, not attractive enough. Actually, this is the recurring theme in several suicide notes found among Asian American students. Well, we are going to change that by speaking, sharing, and supporting each other. We need to engage our community members with stories, educate them with facts, and empower them with hope. And here's how we're going to do it. So TAME stands for Together Empowering Asian Minds. It's a national campaign that aims to transform how Asian Americans perceive mental health and receive mental health services. The campaign was funded by the Hope and Grace Initiative in May 2016. Thanks to our A team, Vicky, Cynthia, Ina, Carlin, Richa, and Preeti. In merely 4 months, we have created a resource website, assembled an advisory council, recruited 5 team ambassadors with lived experience, expanded our partner networks, and secured our first corporate sponsor, Her Campus, an intercollegiate college marketing and branding agency. But TEAM is more than a public awareness campaign. It's a movement that is gaining momentum, and we need you to help realize our vision. We want to create a world where Asian Americans with mental illness, I think it's the next slide, yeah, sorry. We want to create a world where Asian Americans with mental illness can speak freely, share openly, and experience acceptance and support without shame and judgment. So this is the manifesto of our movement, and it is listed in the back of the bookmarks that we created. And they're on the tables outside and inside here too. By the way, you can also download the design from our website under the tab Mission and print your own copy. So TEAM started out as a Massachusetts-based coalition. Next slide, please. Oh, no, okay, sorry. So TEAM started out as a Massachusetts-based coalition formed in 2010 to address urgent and unique mental health challenges faced by Asian Americans. It grew from a planning committee for an annual AAPI Mental Health Forum. The group expanded, and 3 agencies are leading the current national efforts. Transformation Center, a nationally recognized peer specialist training and advocacy agency led by Deborah Dillman. And Saheli, a domestic violence agency serving South Asian women led by Guri Banerjee. And Asian Women for Health, a peer-led community-based organization providing education and support for Asian American women, particularly cancer and trauma survivors. Although many individuals have been involved in the creation of TEAM, including many people in the audience tonight, I do want to specifically acknowledge the contributions of 2 founding members, Liz Chen, the General Manager of WGBH Television and World Channel. And Dr. Ed Wan, the President of the Board of National Asian American Pacific Islander Mental Health Association, NAPIMA. The TEAM campaign's key messages are: mental health begins with me. When I worked for the Massachusetts Council on Compulsive Gambling, someone told me a joke, explained why it is so difficult to help people with mental illness. And it goes like this: how many psychiatrists does it take to change a light bulb? Yeah? The answer, 1. But the light bulb has to want to change. Right. So the first step here is to have the self-awareness that mental health begins with me, begins with all of us, the individual. If you don't recognize that you need help and ask for help, it is very hard for others to support you. And if the individuals can be happy, healthy, and well-balanced, then the family and the whole community can be happy, healthy, and well-balanced. But it has to start with the individual. Our second message is, pain is real, so is hope. As I mentioned earlier, I broke my elbow recently, And everybody knows I'm not well because they can see that I have a sling on. However, you can't always tell if somebody is emotionally sound or mentally fit. And in some Asian cultures, we don't even have a name for depression or mental illness. So when someone is suffering from depression or mental illness, we often label them as lazy or weak. And instead of getting them the support and help they need, we push them harder or naively think that this is just a phase they're going through or a bad habit that they can just shake off. That is why our second step is to educate all the key stakeholders, including peers, parents, providers, and policymakers, about these culturally bound stigmas, and to find ways to remove those barriers so people can get support and treatment in a timely fashion. We don't ever want to hear a family member or a friend said, "I didn't know," after they lost a loved one to suicide. And it's critical for us to hold the hope for those who are struggling right now and to ensure them that they are not alone and recovery is possible. Our last message is self-care is not selfish. Self-care is particularly difficult for Asian American women, who are often taught that their role is to give to others. And if they take care of themselves first, they're selfish. Remember the rules on an airplane to put the mask on yourself first before assisting someone else? This is because if you are not well, you are no good for anybody else. Self-care is necessary to wellness. So forget about trying to fit that model minority myth. Stop internalizing it and be true to yourself, not to whom others want you to be. Recognize that you are not alone and recovery is possible. Also, be kind to yourself and seek help. Seeking help is an indication of strength and resilience, not weakness. Speak, share, support. You never know how your words and your action might touch someone. So let's take a moment to go to our website. If you have your mobile device or your cell phone, please go to the website www.teamasianminds.org. You can scroll all the way down to the support section. Over there? Okay. If you're at the support section, click on it. And now click Take the Pledge. I'm sorry, I don't know how to switch between the screen, the presentation, and the website. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. All right. Justin Chen fit the model minority myth, unfortunately. He knows everything. Okay. Oh, okay. So scroll all the way down, and you'll see there's a block that says support. So click on it, and then click on Take a Pledge. So let's take a moment to do this all together. So it says, mental health begins with me. Take the team pledge to care for yourself and your loved ones. Peta, you want to read?
I will speak to someone if I need help. I will speak to someone if that person needs help.
Click, check. We'll add some sound effect later, so to give you some satisfaction. Okay.
I will share my story to heal myself. I will share my story to help others. Check. I will support self-care. I'll support others to do the same. Check. Speak, share, and support.
Now take the pledge.
I'll take the
fill
pledge.
in your. Okay, we'll take a minute for you. Did you do it?
I did it already.
Oh,
Then you have to do it.
So the goal here is that, if everybody here in the room take the pledge and then forward this message to 5 of your friends or family and encourage them to do the same, the number will multiply. And the number is power. And we will see visually how many people. Oh, yeah, now we jump. What? You counted for 10 people?
I think a bunch of people.
Oh, okay. I was surprised because we started out, as 9, like under. Oh, I'm so glad we didn't crash the system. Yay! Okay. So, yeah, hopefully the people at the host site, you are also doing the same thing. So please take that pledge. So, like I said, we have a very lofty goal. We want to reach 150,000 people by April 30th, 2017. And one of our very capable advisory council member, who actually is here in the room, did a quick calculation for us and told us that we need to reach roughly 21,000 people per month to reach that goal. So this is something I want us to all hold ourselves accountable for. So tonight, when you leave the room, make sure that you spread the message, that you encourage people to take the pledge. We want to see the number multiply. And please send us your ideas how we can build this critical mass in 7 months. And if you personally know any Asian influencers like Michelle Pan or Michelle Kwan or anybody whose first name is Michelle, please reach out to them on our behalf and urge them to get behind the campaign, okay? We want to clarify that you don't have to be an Asian American Pacific Islander to support the campaign. You can still advocate for us as an ally who shares our vision. Now, since 82% of Asian Americans are active internet users, we intend to embark on this national public awareness campaign with the following key components. Our resource website, which you just experienced, is designed to serve as an information portal and depository for blogs, videos, writings, arts, and studies about Asian American mental health. For example, you can find information like a study published by the Journal of College Students Development in 2011, in which researchers surveyed over 1,300 Asian American students on 66 college campuses about risk to their mental health. They found students who had contemplated suicide mentioned 3 top reasons. Recent family problems accounted for 47%, recent academic problems accounted for 43%, and recent financial problems accounted for 24%. We have great information on the website, so please check it out, and please help us make it better by contributing and using this platform to speak, share, and support. Tonight marks the national kickoff for the official launch of the website, as well as the open call for videos in 3 different categories: video essays, testimonials, and public service announcements. For the video essays, we want to know what are some of the challenges the Asian American Pacific Islander community faces in addressing mental health issues. How can we, as a group, challenge these cultural forces and destigmatize talking about and seeking treatment for mental health issues. For the testimonials, we would like to hear about your personal stories. How do you or your loved ones cope and overcome adversities caused by mental illness? Please share your road to recovery and give hope to others. Finally, for the public service announcements, be creative and send us a 30-second spot to promote team campaign and ignite people's desire to join the movement. The official rules and submission guideline of the video call are listed on the website. So another reason to check out the website. And the deadline for submission is December 31st, 2016. The public voting was on YouTube will begin on January 2017. We will announce the winners, one from each category, in February, and host screening at campuses nationwide in April. We hope that all our event hosts will commit to hosting a spring screening event on their campuses during that time. The Kickoff event is live streaming right now to different campus sites, and we will continue expanding our campus network by reaching out to Asian students groups and cultural organizations. Since this event will be recorded and made available on the team website under the tab Team Campaign, any group can host its own kickoff event at a later date. I understand that many of the campuses, many of the universities can't join us tonight because they're in the middle of midterms. So hopefully you'll be able to do that afterwards. You will find the event host guide on our website as well to help you plan and promote your event. Here are some concrete ways that you can help. You can be an ambassador, a blogger, or campus rep or contributor in your own way. People often do not seek help because they feel alone in their struggles and have internalized negative messages. By sharing your stories with similar problems and treatment seeking, you help to normalize their experience and may make it more acceptable to seek help. Ambassadors are those with lived experience and will be more involved in speaking engagements. Bloggers do not need to have lived experience to contribute. You can be our campus rep to disseminate information about our campaign and advance our cause. You can host a viewing party or screening event or mental health related event on campus or in your community. For example, September right now is the National Suicide Prevention Month. So perhaps you can host a larger event after in this month to raise the awareness on campus. Another opportunity is October 2nd to October 8th, which is the National Mental Health Awareness Week. This will also be a good time to do something. Please let us know about your events so we can help promote them on our website and social media channels. You can participate in the video open call, promote the campaign among your network, do more research on Asian mental health, and send us resources to make our website a one-stop shop. Finally, you can help raise funds to support and sustain the team campaign. It takes a lot of resources and people power to create and maintain the website, all social media channels, and our outreach efforts. We need money to print educational materials, to buy ads, and to pay for events like this. Please go to our website and participate in the Take 5 and Give 5 challenge. We hope this will go viral like the Ice Bucket Challenge with your support. So if you go to our website, if you click on Donate, it will take you to the Take 5 and Give 5 challenge. Justin, can I please have you to go to our website to show people where? Okay. So the Take 5, Give 5 challenge goes like this. If you go to Donate, yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. So give us $5 or any multiple of 5s to show your support when you do one of the following. Sorry, it's very small. So take a 5-minute break for self-care, or when you pat yourself on the back for supporting yourself, doing a good job. Give high fives to your loved ones, or invite 5 people to take the pledge, and spread the word about Team Campaign to 5 people. So when you do one of these 5, just give us $5 or multiple 5. Think of it as a piggy bank for Team Campaign. We need you. We need your help. And so post your participation in the Take 5, Give 5 challenge on social media and encourage other people to do the same. You can also sign up to be a sponsor by purchasing ads on our website and for our events, or give in-kind goods or services to support team. Right now, go back to the website.
All right.
Right now, her campus, to the home page. Go down.
I'm working on it.
Sorry. All right. So right now, her campus is offering a discount code Team Kickoff with 15% off of their merchandise, and 5% of the proceeds will support team efforts. And this is on our website, but the offer only lasts to October 20th, so please act. As we mentioned earlier, mental health is a public health concern, and it affects Asian Pacific Islanders disproportionately, regardless of our ethnicity, age, gender, country of origin, sexual orientation, socioeconomic status, or educational level. We need to act to change our perspective on mental illness and mental health services. This must be our cause, and we must make our efforts a movement, because if we don't, we will lose more and more Asian Pacific Islanders to suicide. And we, as individuals and a community, will not live to our potential. No one can champion this effort alone. No one can stem the tide of untimely death without working together. AAPIs, allies, organizations, and institutions. We are a team, together empowering Asian minds, and we must act now. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chin-Chi. Thank you so much. So we're going to take a little break and let people have more of the yummy food that's out there. And then hopefully in about 15 minutes, come back and look at these questions, these guiding questions, talk to each other. Maybe some of that can start out there and come back in here to talk about what we can do, how we can support each other, what networks people have, how can they be allies, all those kinds of things that we want to, encourage people to get initiated and motivated by, to be able to go forward after this. So if everyone would like to take a 15-minute break, but please come back, because this is the part where we'd like to get into the nitty-gritty. And we're going to stop the live streaming at this point, and I hope that the other campuses can do the same and do the guiding questions. And thank you very much for joining us. And we'll hopefully have our local people come back and have a discussion. Thank you.
How are you?
I would love to my research project and things that I could do. That would be awesome.
So I think I felt up to
Yeah, so you should definitely connect with Jim T. And also, have you met her? She's part of the
I know the exact
She wants to take a picture of you, me, and Christina, and Kim.
Yeah, Kim's been taking beautiful pictures. Okay, are you ready for the beautiful
We have
look?
the media here too.
Yes. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, again. 1, 2, 3. Big smile. Thank you.
Thank you. Look at this one. I'm very good at closing my eyes. Right?
One more. All right.
media. We need the media picture.
Oh, yeah. Thank you so much.
Don't move.
Just one more.
I'm organizing this.
1, 2, 3.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, now I can do my hug.
Yeah.
It made
Yeah.
Yeah, I just told my hubby I said I have to kidnap you one day on the tea or something. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Oh, that was Kim.
Oh my God. Here, you can use my iPad to take notes.
In Lexington, yeah, like Josephine Kim, who was fabulous. She was so good. That was a good one too. That was really, really good. And they had a lot of people. Not right now. This was the first one opened the fall, which is good. Yeah. Hopefully we'll get some more later on. Yeah, that's one of my message out there. Yeah. World Journal.
It's the first time getting any sort of presentation.
That's good that they didn't around that long. You know, that's so easy.
Thinking how to change.
Yeah.
The Lexington Church.
All right, I'll see you later. All right.
I have it. Maybe. What days are maybe this is yeah, shoot me an email and then maybe we can talk about this. Are you reminding her now? Oh, okay. Wow. I used to So what brought you here? Actually. Oh. Yeah. Oh, that's so interesting. Older generation in America or older generation in China? Yeah, I did research with like elderly Chinese immigrants in Chinatown my junior year. Really? You should connect with Nicole Newman. Do you know her? Okay, yeah, because I did research with her. Yeah. And she speaks Cantonese. Oh, and most of the people in Chinatown speak Cantonese. Yeah. No, I speak a little bit of Mandarin. It's not wonderful. Yeah. My boyfriend speaks Cantonese, so I like trying to pick up things here and there. Yeah.
I know so many of our friends are depressed. We don't know what to do. Teenage steps. Parents, they won't go to campus services
Well, I think
because they think it's going to be used against them.
Mandarin people didn't start coming to Boston Chinatown until like a lot later, and most of the people who I feel like live in Chinatown are because a lot of volunteer people are the Mandarin people, and they wouldn't live necessarily in Chinatown. Yeah,
Not just individually.
Lexington much more. Quincy, I think it's still Japanese mostly. That's my understanding.
So Americans may be more associated Asian or
Boston Avenue runs up the other side. It's a treatment.
So these are the things to know. Yeah, you should totally reach out to Nicole. She's great and really nice. And she has so much like
The railroad stop.
I think I should know this. I'm pretty sure she should it with the gesture God. So you should meet up with her.
Right. What's still
Yeah, of course. I'm gonna run to the bathroom. It was nice meeting you. We'll be right back.
No, it goes to the North Exeter Station. With a bridge
word of mouth, someone's like,
and then
hey,
it goes up
you
to take it over, and those places up below.
And it was really well done, but it said that kind of thing, because like, you know, the
Yeah, I like
perspective, cultural roots. It's sort of like, what can be done on campus to improve the plight of Asian Americans in terms of actual strategies? I will copy this.
I should know this, right?
What's your email address?
Well, the picture, what it is there's just two parts to it. There's which is sort of like smaller than our house. If each half is smaller than our house, put together, it's that fashion of
I was like, I used to plan.
It seemed like the most peaceful person that was interacting. It just seemed like you're totally
well,
yeah, it could be. Okay, this was a really good editorial. I was asked specifically, and I didn't like the edit.
spaces.
The policy of mental health services basis is just come to us. Asian students do it, right? But you should come and take those policies.
Actually there. Exactly. So I was like, first of all, like, or you kind of like, she always sounds fine.
Culturally tailored services are not. But second, like, what can people do to encourage others to grow? Well, the education actually seems like it's important. How do you get the person to change their mindset? Because the mindset is like, it's my fault, I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough, I'm not pretty enough, in this case, good enough.
She's 22 and thinks she knows everything.
Yeah.
And she's my daughter, right? You know that.
Parents say, just work hard, effort, just work hard. It's fine, everyone gets stressed, everyone gets nervous sometimes, just work harder. Then people will work harder and harder and harder. Like, I don't need to see my friends. I don't need to sleep. I'm going to work harder and harder and harder.
I didn't do any of the sponsorship, so I don't know. It was Chinchi.
Yeah, exactly. But effort. Parents say effort. It's all about effort. If you're a Harvard undergrad and you say, where would you go? Get a 3.8. You're Harvard, so get a 3.8. You have to.
Thanks for coming. You mentioned
sacrificed. Yeah, so at the ed school, recently I gave these type of papers.
You look so casual that you're a student.
Flies too high, flies too close to the sun. Wax melts. Wax melts. So Asian students who are expected to fly high, they often fly so high that they disconnect themselves from their signals. And then they are now too high and they're exhausted. And
Where did you go?
it's unpleasant.
Yeah, my
Okay.
Seems almost for you, I'm sure.
Your screen the lid tighter and tighter because you think that's
cooker is the other example. Right? Like the pressure cooker. There's more and more bills, and if there's no escape valve, there's no pressure release valve. Like if someone can't release their feelings, they can't.
The truth is, like, you feel like that's what you should be doing. Yeah. And to let go of that feels like you're out of feeling. It feels like you're letting go. You're
Right.
giving up.
Right. I'm a failure. I mean, I'm not reaching that bar. That's the thing. The pole vaulting bar is the other side. Those are the businesses I try to do.
Would you like that?
Cool. Yeah, we'll get to food.
Yeah.
This is heavy stuff. This is heavy stuff.
I heard about, oh my god.
Yeah, heavy stuff.
How much did it be?
Actually, we have. This is our.
Thank you, guys. Coaching.
No, that's the Breaking Silence project. So my information, my email's right here. If they need your company, then maybe we can do something. I know that the city, they have a resilience office.
I went there. This is cheap. That's why I went.
How's they related to the
He basically he's under like made right here.
I
So
emailed,
everything goes.
I emailed Daniel Cole, and he's not Asian.
Yeah. That's fine.
Yeah, so.
So we don't hear a lot of that. Like, Brown Valley.
Oh.
But a lot of people he get a hold of you. Because no, he goes to the I forgot what he does.
We love to have the support and the, endorsement and all the support.
This guy, I was grandfather. He's the state representative. He's running. So you know when you run, that's the best time to talk.
Right, yeah, you're more available.
No, but I'm going to leave my.
All right, I'm trying to get out of the porch.
Okay, yeah, please, yeah, email me.
Motorcycle. But they're motorcycles. Bicycles? No. I rode my. I rode my bike across the country. No, I did Bedford, Massachusetts, Washington.
Yeah, they have what we call gasoline. They have some.
Ram. Crazy people who ride off just today and get delirious.
We actually yeah, you can.
Okay. All right. Let's see. We can get down here. All right. Should I just start? All right. Sure. I took off the. All right. So I saw a lot of people networking outside. That's great. Okay. And what I'd like to do is I'd like for, and maybe we can start there even if people have, do I need this mic? Let's see. Do I need this mic? Can people hear me? All right, that's better because I'd rather not be behind the podium. Okay, so the idea is to really begin to think about how.
Sorry, no food in the auditorium.
No food in the auditorium, yeah.
And please ask people to come in.
Yeah, ask people to come in and leave their food outside.
We
can't eat, but yeah. So the idea is that we want to figure out. Okay, we have an event, right? And then what? Then what? This happens all the time, right? You have an event, and then you think, oh, well, that was a nice event, right? But what do? What can we do to help this initiative, become a movement, as Chen-Chi said? All right. So, and I think there's a number of things we can do myself, but I'd like everyone to think for a minute: what can we individually do? So for myself, I know I have a number of people on campuses, allies and Asian American folks, and I'm going to personally invite them. Because as we know, a lot of times a personal invitation means a lot more than a group email, right? It's like if you get something, if you know what, I'm involved in this thing, please help support it. It's different. So I'd like everyone to just take a moment and think, what can you do personally or in your organization that might promote this effort, that might open up a conversation, okay? And if anyone has any ideas, I'd really like to share them. Share one. Other things? Yeah.
Yes,
please.
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Lulu, and I am a candidate for Masters of Liberal Arts in Psychology at the Harvard Extension School. And I am doing my thesis research. And my research is going to be on the effect of the emotions of guilt and shame on the mental health. I would probably pick one, either maybe suicidal ideation of Chinese American women or men or something. I still have to narrow down the topic. I'm right now in my literature review phase. So wherever I go, I'll talk about my research. I talk about my research with everyone. And I'm not sure the research might go in the way of interview or survey. I want some human interaction. So in the future, if you can be one of my subjects, that would be really great. And also my advisor had suggested that maybe with your permission, if we can video the process of interviewing and maybe edit them and make it into a documentary or something like that.
What's the age range?
I'm thinking of young people, like maybe college students, or maybe 20 to 30-ish.
So Lulu, one of the things you could do for us is you could share your literature review with us, or a portion of it, on our website, because you're doing research.
I would love
into
to.
that, and that would help us in terms of our website. And then, one of the things is you have, then also, and a lot of us are well networked, just in general. So when you get to the point of looking for subjects and you have a call or, a requirement list, then definitely let us know and we'll let up.
Yes. And I have a second idea is that, so starting from the beginning of this year, I'm from China, by the way, and I am taking psychology. I'm studying psychology and mental health counseling here in the United States. So what I did is I took what I learned and I found some educational agency in China and I designed an online course with them. So what I did is I framed to Chinese people not as a therapist, but as a teacher. And when you frame yourself as a teacher, they're like, oh, okay, I might have something to learn, instead of, oh, you're a therapist. There's something wrong with you. And one of the important things that I teach is emotional recognition and emotional regulation skills, and mixed in with some mindfulness. And it was really successful. It was really successful. And also after, in the course, the course lasts for a month. What I did is like 2 hours of lecturing every 1.5 to 2 hours lecturing every week, and then every day they will ask questions in it's like a chatting group called WeChat. I don't know if you know WeChat, right? So we have a WeChat group, and they will type questions in the WeChat group, and I will answer with my voice. I will support them every day, and after that, people just really opened up and really understand how doing individual sessions might help them. And and I really think it's a lot about us mental health professionals. I don't have a lot of Asian classmates when I go to school here, but for the ones we do, we need to organize them, we need to come together, and we need to think of a smart way to present ourselves. You can call yourself coaching, teaching, stress reduction, whatever. And that's a way to get to people. So, and when I graduate with my master's, I will be creating maybe online courses in English as well. But that's the next step. Just want to know that.
Definitely keep us in the loop of what you're doing. And we had another, yes.
Hello everyone, my name is Jenny Sito and I'm the board chair for a nonprofit here in Boston called Aspire. So we actually have been founded since 2001, so we've been in existence now for 15 years. Our name is Aspire, Asian Sisters Participating in Reaching Excellence. And so our mission has been, for the past 15 years, to engage, educate, and empower Asian American women and girls to become lifelong leaders. So this past year, actually, we've been doing a strategic review process. And within this period of time, we've been, looking at what our strengths are, our weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, and trying to figure out, how can we make our nonprofit, which has been very successful for the past 15 years in delivering great programming. So we do things like speaker series events. We bring together panelists, which Christina and Hata have been involved in the past, and Chen-Chi as well. And we ran for 10 years a Asian American Women Leadership Conference, which we bring together keynote speakers and panelists and networking event. And so this year, in part of our dialogue, which actually has been fascinating to hear what's been going on with team, is that we actually are trying to build now a community, which is what we are hoping to do. So since our strategic review, our new mission is Aspire aims to build and empower a community of Asian American women leaders through identity development, mentorship, and education. So this is something that we're going to be doing now, and our first event will actually be Saturday, November 5th at Simmons College, and we'd love to invite all of you here to be involved with that. It's a roundtable event, so what we're going to start doing is doing discussions. So we're planning this for the next upcoming year. So starting with this first event at Simmons, and then having more roundtable discussions to have people talk about different topics very relevant to us as Asian American women. So maybe it's about being a model minority, maybe it's about body image, maybe it's about mental health, maybe it's about, racism or discrimination in the workplace. So there's a lot of things that we're already trying to work on, and so it's very exciting to hear about the study and even hear about what other people are doing. We want to get people involved, and so the first event will be the roundtable discussion on Saturday, November 5th, and then if you guys haven't heard about us in the past, our website is Girls Aspire, GIRLS, Aspire, ASPIRE.org. Our website is old. That's the website we've had for the last 15 years, so we're actually revamping that as well. But please, follow us on our newsletter, follow us on Facebook, and we'd love to work with you guys.
So, Jenny, I have a question for you.
Yes.
Are you going to have a information table?
We will.
And will you commit to putting our bookmarks on it?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Got it. Yeah. Go ahead.
I was going to ask, you have to be female to attend on November 5th?
Well, that is probably going to be something for this first roundtable because of, the sensitive topics we'll probably be discussing. But we will be definitely, in the past, we have opened up our conferences there have been males that have attended. So future events for sure, we want to encourage you guys to also come as well. Yeah.
Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Kim Liam. I'm the Director of the Asian Mental Health Program at Cambridge Health Alliance. It's been such a wonderful program already. And one thing I wanted to point out and ask for all of your help in is that although this campaign is so exciting and, I'm feeling all the vibrations, and I think that we have this opportunity to reach many people in many different places rather quickly. And the information sharing that we can do from research papers to even small videos to teach about stress management or stress reduction skills or mindfulness, and just user-friendly information to destigmatize mental health issues. One thing I want us to be mindful as a team, as a community, is while there's excitement to talk about lived experiences, I just ask you to reach out to us, both Hada and myself. Often when we have someone come forward and want to tell their story, we talk with them about the experience and readiness and the purpose at this time in their life. And sometimes people continue, and some people say, maybe I'll wait to next year or the year after. So there's many ways you can contribute, and it's very exciting to think, oh, I know so-and-so, either a patient or a friend or a relative, or even self. I'm ready to say this and that, but it's actually, the information is not only privileged, it's like so special. It's part of your family history. And I think that when you are ready, if you're ever ready, it's going to be so important. But I just really need to put that out there and ask you for your help. And both Hada and Christina have run workshops to just allow folks who may be thinking about sharing part of their story or all of their story to practice it in writing or speaking or through art, and even have yourself on video and what that's like. And that's a game changer. So I hope my message isn't discouraging, but I just want to let you know that this is, while this is important to get out there and, go eventually international and reach so many folks, we also want to be mindful and really honor people's experiences. Thank you.
Yeah, and I think it's very important that people remember that it's very important to share information, but it's also very important to do it with the knowledge of what you feel comfortable with. You know what I mean? It took me, personally, it took me a very long time before I could share my story. And when I finally did, I actually volunteered for Families for Depression Awareness. That's the first thing I did. And then I was asked to be part of a Psychology Today article in 2010. And I knew at that moment I had a decision to make. Because once you step out into that realm, it's still on the way, that article. It's called Good Morning Heartache. It's actually but it was also in the magazine. I had people, friends on the street say, yo, I saw you doing your picture. They did a whole photo shoot. Your picture was in Psychology Today. I And then I was like, well, what do you think? So it's sort of like, so when and I think it's very important for us to be sensitive to other people's information too. Because one of the things about the internet is we create kind of a sense of like, oh, this is not a real person, this is just a hashtag or whatever, right? And it's not so I think, that's might be one thing we want to think about is promote team as an initiative. How about other people, other things? I mean, yes.
Hi, I'm Sonia. I'm a student at TUSMED. And I think, it's great that you're expanding to the colleges, but I think you could even go beyond that and reach the grad students, med students. Our campus is in Chinatown, and there's also TUS Dental, the School of Public Health, EU Med is close to, and I think people would really be willing to be a part of this, especially people who are going into the health profession where mental health is such a part of it. And I'm also the diversity representative for my class, so I'd be willing to share information.
Great. You should scoop some stuff up, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you. Others out there?
Hi everyone, I'm a second year Master of Divinity candidate at Harvard Divinity School. So while I'm not a health professional and I don't know how to diagnose the disease or really prescribe treatment, what I really hope to do is to strengthen the overall kind of foundation and base that people with Asian heritage have here in the U.S. And so towards that, my goal this year is to actually understand the experiences of older generations, so specifically Chinese immigrant older generations. And I hope to explore their thoughts and emotions towards certain experiences. I hope to listen thoughtfully and learn more about their backgrounds and experiences. And I think that that will really inform how I approach therapy or helping improve or healing, which is the kind of work I want to do. So two things for that. One is if you know Mandarin-speaking older generation Chinese immigrants in this area or nearby, please let me know. Hopefully after this ends. And then Jake. And my Chinese name is Jiayi. And then the second piece, also towards that, I'm organizing a screening of Zhang Yimou's movie Coming Home at my school. It's about a family's reunification after the revolution in China, and I found it really powerful because it was the first time I'd seen the history of my parents kind of on screen, and I feel like there's not a lot of that. And when I saw it, and also when I went to Beijing this summer, it was really important and kind of helped me see my parents' ways of being in a different way. And it helped me rethink certain things I thought were problems before. Just, for example, how the way they introduce ideas, like the order of how they'll talk about an idea, it just gave me a lot to work with. And at my school, there's a chance to show the movie and then have a discussion afterwards to make meaning from it. And I think that's going to be really powerful for undergrads, grads, professionals, older generation, that, have been their experience. When I told my dad I saw it, he was like, that was me. And I was so happy that I'd seen something that resonated with me. So I'm going to work on that and make sure I broadcast it through team.
Right. And I think the other thing about teams is that, although we are sort of focusing on college-age students, the website has a lot of information for everybody. So, that's one of the things that we want to encourage. And people of all ages, genders, ethnicities, that we need to have that allies and support. It can't just be talking to each other. Okay, so anyone else? Thoughts about what you can do to help promote this? How you connect with this effort? Okay, so, yeah,
say
yeah,
something.
please.
This is more of a perspective, not so much like, yeah, this is sort of a perspective. Huh? Yes, of course. So I'm Rohit Chandra. I'm a child and adult psychiatrist, and I do community mental health in Chelsea, which is just north of Boston. I was talking with a few people earlier, maybe about 20 minutes ago, about how on campuses, there is a high suicide rate among Asians, just like Chenchi mentions, 61% at Cornell within a certain time frame, 42% at MIT, and that sort of thing. So I did a talk at Harvard College about 5 years ago to a group called the Asian American Brotherhood, and they were concerned because a lot of students were depressed. And the question was, what could they do? So the peers knew, but the student wouldn't really go seek help. And these were both men and women, obviously, both young men, young women. But the question was really, what could be done on campus once friends knew that someone was depressed, because the students wouldn't go seek help. So like Chenchi said, there's really a low rate of help seeking in the Asian population. And that, I think, is something that would be worth thinking about. What can be done on college campuses for Asian students? Because once there is awareness, then what? What can one do? So, are there culturally tailored services? Can peers be educated in terms of how to help each other? Do you involve the families? The difference between Asian values and American values is really collectivism versus individualism. So if you have collectivism, you have kids who are saying, look, no one understands. I have to get a 3.8 at Harvard, and if I don't, I'm a failure, period. So I'll do whatever it takes to do that. And if that means not eating, not sleeping, not seeing my friends, well, that's what it is, because my parents say it's effort, effort, effort. So, what do you do in those situations? Do you involve the family, and how do you get those kids help? And that's more of a question. I don't know the answer.
So, as I said again, so on our website there are a lot of information, and as I was reading, so I realized that actually several campuses there, they recognize that Asian Americans really need help.
Right.
So there's this program called Let's Talk, and I just learned that Josephine King, she ran a whole day conference at Concord the other, I think last year? Or
No, it was May.
Oh, in May.
I spoke with them.
Yeah, she spoke,
Yeah,
Christine and I were
Anna
there.
and Christine.
I spoke.
And this is a program actually, I think it started at Cornell. And then, they have a grassroots approach. They actually, they go to students.
Actually, it's parents that was.
Parents, okay.
Parents.
Yeah. Okay,
So it's parents of Asian American young. Well, that was like.
And actually, great. So at the end of the conference, two people came up to me. One was Deborah, who's right here, and she's the administrative director of Justin's Excellence Center. And the other person was the father of someone who's going to be a freshman at Harvard. He said, look, I want to help. What can I do? And I haven't been in touch with him, but that was a great point. How do you bring parents to talk to Asian college students, graduate students, international students, to help them realize that, look, maybe this is the message you're getting, but it's not worth sacrificing your whole life.
So another resource is that in Kawaako, I read, and I think in our website there's an article about this group in Kawaako because they have a cluster of high school students commit suicide. So a group of parents and providers, they got together and they developed a skit, like what the Breaking Parents Project did, about to do to talk about this issue and how to start a conversation. So I think like performance like the Breaking Parents Project and that help us look at the issue, and to begin the conversation. But also they're on campuses they're group like Active Mind. They're not Asian specific, but maybe through the team effort we can start the the team Asian support or whatever Asian students. So because I think that there are certain things that's specific to our community, and we need to have that space and that connection to be able to share.
Is anybody here
from Aware or AWSIP?
Oh,
Did they talk about
Boston University.
That's Boston University.
Are they?
No, they're not.
So at BU, they've been doing the study, I think, for over 5 years now. Dr. Hom is the professor who has been doing this, and so they have actually had several groups, and I want to say at least 70 people who have been involved in this study. So it is second generation Korean, Chinese, and Vietnamese immigrants, women between the ages of, I believe, 20 to 28 or something like that, and they've been basically doing weekly coaching sessions where they talk about like 8 different topics that have impacted people, like relationships and mental health and all this other stuff. And they think there's like and it's a study, so people get like a stipend for it and everything. So it's a way to trick people into talking about mental health and get paid for it. So that is actually a study or a program. This week I saw on WBUR actually that is expanding to Wellesley College as well. So maybe, I don't know Active Minds, but perhaps the study that Weir is doing is also, they're already talking about this dialogue within Asian American women, and they're bringing it to Wellesley as well. So maybe this is something that can be expanded.
So one of the things I see is that there are a lot of efforts.
Yeah.
There are a lot of different efforts in different places. And one of the things that team has the potential, right, to do is to sort of inform everybody about all these different efforts, right? Because we have this website, we have social media. How do you get to know? And like every effort has its own benefits and drawbacks. So, for instance, as a Japanese American woman, I wouldn't be able to join this study even if I was younger. But you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But at the same time, I might be able to do something else, right? So, I mean, the thing is that that's one of the things I think that the potential that team has in terms of resources, right? The other thing I think is that we have to start talking about it. I mean, you asked what to do, and if we don't, that's, I think, the base level. And then the question is, what do you do about it? But if you can't even have the conversation, right? If you can't even say, and that means that you have to take a risk, I think. I mean, I feel like every time I start talking about my personal, I'm putting my head out there, right? And like I'm used to it now. My head is still on, okay? But it's not. It's something that I think like if you see a friend who is suffering, it's like it's really easy to say, well, they don't want to talk about it. Particularly as a friend. I mean, sometimes if the person who's in it is so in it, it's hard to even know what to say. That's from my experience. Yeah.
I just want to follow up on that. I think the conversation is so important. That's why I love the name of your performance group, Breaking Silences. And I really was sort of struck by that first part where it was the mother and I guess a daughter talking about, did you get an A on what grade did you get on that report? One thing about killing myself. It's like, Pata, you and I were in a panel discussion here in this very room about a movie called Can, which is a documentary about a Vietnamese immigrant family and a child with bipolar disorder and depression. And so one of my comments at the time was the sort of noting the tragic breakdown in intergenerational and cross-cultural communication that's so common. And it's really like the parents' generation, the kids' generations just don't talk to each other. And it's so sad, actually, because they both, want to connect and can't. And so I'm just thinking, and also it may be easy to get angry at the older generation and say, you're just not listening. But I think it's really, they're doing sort of the best that they can too in using the traditional values that they know. So one other group I want to mention is, I think parents' organizations are starting to get involved, which I think is terrific. So there's the Brookline Asian American Family Network is hosting a conference in December. I'll be speaking there. Some other girls in this room will be there. I can send information out. But I'm so thrilled that places like Brookline, like Lexington, the parents themselves are finally saying, wow, this is an issue we're going to start addressing. We've been, our group, the MGH Center for Cross-Cultural Student Emotional Wellness, was hired by a group in Maryland actually to come down and speak to them. Because I think communities are starting to become aware that this is a problem.
So one of the things, I guess, one of the take-homes, and we're running out of time, so I want to make sure we're out here on time. So one of the things, is that we need to share our information.
nerdy, but there's something I would love for you guys to read, and it's like it should be one of these required reading materials. And it's surprising when I read it because I feel like it's such an underrated book. It needs to be more out there, like Lean In and Girl Boss and other good books. So it's called Womenomics, and it's written by these two news reporters who have been anchors for a while. They went around interviewing a lot of Fortune 500 CEOs and like VPs and stuff. And what's surprising is that this book isn't out there more. And the subtitle was, how to stop struggling and start living the life you want and desire. And it's not just for the women. Actually, the men can benefit a lot out of it too. Because the reality of this book actually is so funny because they know us women so well in how we downgrade ourselves and how we think about ourselves. The first two chapters are explaining to us, like begging us to know how valuable we are. That educated, resourceful, creative, and hardworking women are actually highly valued in our society, and that companies need us more than we actually need them. So we need to put it into perspective sometimes how we think about ourselves. So the first two chapters does that, and then the other chapters teach you how to say no in a polite way. And value your own time, and how to think about your time, and how to think about what's important in your life, how to think about work and life and family and everything that we all have to juggle. So this book just blew my mind, and I was like, why have I not read this earlier? So it's called Womenomics, like economics, but with women in front of it. Please try to read it, because it was very enlightening.
Yeah, you should get paid by that. So we are going to be wrapping up, and I think as we please be in touch with us. Please use your organizations, your friends, your networks, get the word out, and let us know what you're doing. Because that's the way we can create a movement.
And if you can you bring back the last slide? If you can send us the answers to those 3 questions through email, my email is listed on one of the papers there. If you can email us that'd be great. We will compile a list and then gather your thoughts, and we will create an action.
Yeah, I think particularly, what the bottom line, what we do, and how can we stay connected and know what everyone else is doing, right? Those are the sort of 2 bottom lines.
Yes, and again, if you have not signed in,
yes,
please do that, because that's how we will be able to stay in contact with you and to know if you want to receive more information or if you want to be involved.
Yeah, so if you didn't sign in on your way in because it had already started or something, please get checked off and whatnot on your way out.
I want to mention I have a limited number of parking stickers actually to validate. So if anyone drove in and parked in one of the garages, they're very expensive. So please come up and see me. But another round of applause, please, for Chen-Chi, Pata, and Christina for leading this event.